Hello, and welcome to this overview of the D. Howard International Education Foundation website resources. I am Wayne Fagan, and I have the honor of chairing D. Howard International on behalf of myself and our board of directors and all of our stakeholders. We thank you for watching this video. And we hope that it will be helpful to you as a sort of a roadmap to what the resources are on the D. Howard International website. First, by way of background, we launched D. Howard International in January of 2022. We spent several months trying to decide what our focus would be in the area of STEM education for, at that time, pre-K through 12 students. During that period of time, we did a due diligence and talked to a lot of superintendents, a lot of principals throughout the country. And when we started focusing on rural schools and understanding what the special needs were of rural schools, one of the people that I spoke with was a principal of a rural school in Arizona. He said to me, Wayne, I like what you're doing because most people that focus on rural schools try and take a program that's been designed for an urban school and apply it in a rural setting, and it doesn't work. And because of the special needs of rural schools. In my years of working with teachers, principals, superintendents, my admiration for them has grown every day. All of them face challenges, particularly in this day and time. In addition to the challenges that are faced by the urban schools, rural schools also have special challenges. So what we decided to do was design our programming and resources to fit the needs of rural schools. And that's why we make all of our resources available online, and except for our membership section, at no charge to our participating schools. And I'll explain more about the membership section later. As our programming and resources grew, the board decided that the resources we were creating, although designed for rural schools, could be useful to urban schools. And we decided to open up the all of our programming to schools wherever they were located in the U.S. and some international, not to change the design, taking into consideration needs of rural schools. We focused on, as a catalyst to reach the students, we focused on automotive and aerospace, because those were the two particular interests of D. Howard. Yes, there was a D. Howard, and what you see behind me is not Photoshopped and it's not AI. It's a picture of an actual aircraft called the BAC 111 on a program that we did at D. Howard Company with Rolls-Royce and British Aerospace in the United Kingdom. And those are some of the D. Howard hangars at San Antonio International Airport as they existed at that time. Just to clarify, initially I thought, well, yeah, there were some expertise in automotive and aerospace that were could be used in the other industry, but it wasn't until we started ramping up the automotive side that I got a better understanding, and that was from NASA. We had some NASA folks on our advisory boards they were the ones that were most enthusiastic about our automotive programming. I talked to them one time and said, look, I really appreciate your enthusiasm. Could you tell me why NASA is so enthusiastic about automotive? And they said, because people that study automotive and thinking they're going to go into automotive, in fact, very often wind up working at NASA. And when I shared that story with a automotive industry manufacturer, he reinforced it by saying, that's absolutely right. That I hired my latest hire at the factory that I oversee. Actually, my latest hire was an aerospace engineer. And in aerospace, it's hard to think of a STEM discipline that is not in some way used in aerospace. So we use those two industries trying to get the kids to be enthusiastic about STEM in general. And working with our teacher advisory council, we came up with 17 STEM topics that are used in aerospace, some of which are used in automotive as well, to focus on. We couldn't be all things to all people. So we picked, the teachers picked 17 topics for us to focus on, and I'll share those with you in just a few minutes. The purpose of the website is to implement this, our mission and the resource and the vision that we have, which is to deliver all of our resources virtually, to deliver them at no charge to the schools, with the exception of the membership section. And just to not keep you in suspense, the membership section costs $100 per academic year for an entire school. None of the resources we offer are licensed. In other words, once you can access them, you can use them, whether you continue to be members or not. We, of course, hope that you will continue to be members. Everything else that I will share with you is free of charge. One of the things that we do is we share with you links to many other resources. Some of those resources there are charges for, but if they are on our website, they have to have some resources that we think are relevant to our mission that are delivered virtually and at no charge. But they may also have resources for which there's a charge. We're not promoting their products. We're just trying to share information with you, not only our information, but other resources. Up here in the banner, you will see what is on the public side of the website. Another thing let me mention here is that most of the programming that we share with you is designed for teachers. We also try and put information on the website, particularly the public side, that might be useful to students and that students can access directly. Right here, you'll see student resources, and they can click on that page. And all of these are resources that are designed for direct access by students, as well as teachers if they want to use them. Then another thing that we have is information about scholarships as they relate to our focus areas, and students and teachers can go to that whether they are logged in or not. We have also, in the last 6 months, in collaboration with two experts in the field of early learning, pre-K for essay, and Early Matters essay, We've launched a early childhood initiative. We've recently launched a early childhood podcast that is moderated by a representative of Pre-K for SA, and that can be accessed now, called La Mesa, from the public side of the website, and it's also available to attend by the public. What you see when you click on the STEM calendar, only things that we find of interest that we think might be of interest. Administrators get a lot of information, a lot of emails, and the more we can simplify things and offer it to them in a what I call a user-friendly manner, the better. We send out a monthly newsletter that has a lot of information in it, along with other things you receive, is just too much to absorb. So we've created this so that you can scroll the calendar, and the stuff that appears in beige is third-party information that we find and are able to post. Now, it's not everything, but we try and post as much relevant and useful information as we can. Let me log in. When you click on log in, if you are not a participating school, you will see this sign up to become a participating school. There is no charge to sign up. This is a sign up form. You fill it out, submitting it. I receive a notice of this form. I approve it, and you get a notice that it's been approved. If you log in, you have access to the pages I'm about to show you. There's no obligation to use the information. You pick it. We feel that teachers are in the best position to decide what would work for them. Our job is to provide you the resources. Everything is virtual. There is no charge. There's no obligation to use it, and you pick and choose what you want to use. And we provide you information about others to use those as well. Now let me log in. There is now a membership drop-down menu, which even though you're logged in, if you're not a member, you will not see this membership resource. Also, now that you have logged in and are a participating school, there are two items in the early childhood drop-down menu. One is the early childhood education page that has, and we'll go over this, has a lot more information than the podcast, and then the podcast page, which is here. One thing that you'll see if you are a participating school is the early childhood resource page. Now, on Rural STEM Initiative, you'll see many more items in the drop-down menu. Just Rural STEM in general, you will see listed here 35 collaborating organizations. There are many, many more organizations that have valuable resources. But what we're trying to do is develop a limited number of them. But we still tell you about the others. It's just that we have additional resources on the collaborating organizations. You can click on any of these logos, and they're hyperlinked to that organization's webpage. The Aerospace STEM Resources page, which is also public, you see a lot of resources there. It's not as user-friendly, and click on their website and find out more about what resources they offer. And you can also do that on automotive resources. Same concept. We have 3 levels of access to our resources. The general public pages, which you can access now, even if you're not a participating school. Take your time, become familiar with it as much as you'd like. That's what we're here for, to create resources for as many schools as we possibly can. The pages that we have, the resources that we've created are scalable. We wanted to refine that and make it more user-friendly. So we created the participating school pages. And I say school, but it's actually entities. We are proud to be a strategic partner of the National Rural Education Association. And they are members of D. Howard International, or I should say a participating entity, Rural School Association in Texas, Arizona, Illinois, and Arkansas are also participating entities, and we continually try to invite other rural school associations in different states. So it's not just schools, but it is other entities in those various states that might find the resources that we have of interest to their members. We want to then take the access to a second level of user friendliness. In this drop-down menu, you'll see if you're logged in and you're a participating entity, click on Teacher Resources. Logos that you find here from our 35 collaborating organizations, and we've created what I call an electronic folder for each of them, where, for example, the Aerospace Corporation, the design of these teacher resource pages is the same for all of the teacher resource logos. So I'll just do one. So Aerospace Corporation, we offer to our participating schools the opportunity to have a 1-hour virtual call with their students with a scientist. And we spend the first 30 minutes with the scientist doing a presentation. We reserve about 25 minutes for the students to ask questions of the scientist. 5-minute wrap up. So if an organization, whether they're a collaborating organization or not, and then all of those virtual presentations are posted on the public side of the website. But the difference between a participating entity and the public in general is only the participating schools have the opportunity to host the call with their students asking questions live of the scientists. But once it's recorded and once it's posted on our website, it's posted on the public side of our website. So if Aerospace Corporation has had one of their scientists give a virtual presentation, we also post that video on their teacher resource page. We have, in addition to the virtual presentations, we have leadership, what we call leadership calls, where we invite a representative of another entity that's got useful resources to do a presentation to our schools, teachers, the administrators, about what resources they have. The idea there is if I see something that I think is a great resource, I can share that with you in the newsletter, which I often do. I felt that it would be better to get a representative from that entity and have them tell you directly what resources they are and can be helpful to you. We send out a notice of those leadership calls, and anyone can join that's a participating entity. And the recording of that so that all the busy teachers and administrators can view it at their own leisure. So we post that on a leadership call page that's only viewable by our participating schools. And if they have used a PowerPoint or showed a video, we also post that on the leadership call down here. And we do that same thing, by the way, when we post virtual presentations to the students. If there was a PowerPoint or a video, we post a link to that as well when we post the recording of the video. We have a news section where we find something or they tell us about something that where they were in the news, the teacher resource page is devoted to. We put that there. We post other information, both under downloads and under resources. So this whole page is devoted solely to the resources that are available by this entity. That's one thing that we've done on the participating school pages to try and make it more user-friendly. Let me go back to the calendar and show you something else. Up until this month, the participating school can see everything that's on the calendar. The information that is green once you've logged in is D. Howard International programming. The other information that is on the calendar by other entities. So if we go to, for example, this calendar item, you see it has all the information about that event. Scroll the calendar and quickly find D. Howard International programming and third-party programming. I think what has the potential of being really the crown jewel is find STEM resources. We have created a search engine. What this search engine does is it searches for information on our website. That information is not just our proprietary information. That is information on any entity whose name appears somewhere on our website. And we have created various search functions. One is grade level. So now we have early childhood, grades K to 5, grades 6 to 8, grades 9 to 12. So let's say that you are an elementary school teacher. So you click on grades K to 5. Now we created, I told you earlier, that working with our Teacher Advisory Council, we selected 17 STEM topics to focus on. And these are those STEM topics. So let's say that you are an elementary school teacher and that you want to see what we might have on our website in terms of resources in chemistry for elementary schools. So you click on those two things, you go down here to submit, and the items for which we have data in our system that match, those are what show up. The name of the entity is hyperlinked to their website. Aerospace Corporation, they have a lot of information about what Aerospace Corporation does. They are a nonprofit set up by the U.S. government for scientific research to support branches of the U.S. government. For example, the Department of Energy, as far as, let's say, nuclear is concerned. Department of Education, Department of Defense, things of that nature. Aerospace Corporation has NASA is another one they support. Aerospace Corporation has over 900 PhDs full-time working for Aerospace Corporation doing research and supporting the various government agencies. But they have also created a section of their website for STEM. If somebody, or General Motors, for example, Boeing is a good example. Boeing does a lot of stuff with airplanes, commercial, military, satellites, rockets, etc. But they have some great STEM resources on their website. If entities like that have a lot of information on their website, but also have a section pointing out their STEM resources, then a link to that section or those pages will go here, down here under STEM website. This entity, Kids Chemical Solutions, is K to 5 chemistry. They don't do anything else except STEM in chemistry. Also, please notice that we are set up to also search for English, French, and Spanish. The default is English. more and more entities are beginning to have Spanish language translations of those resources. There is a lot more work to be done in the search engine in terms of inputting data with all of our hundreds, if not thousands, of resources on our website. That takes time. Over time, we'll keep working at that. And the more data we input, the more user-friendly the search engine will be. And so that's one of our high priorities. The search engine is there. It is not a substitute for Google by any means or other public search engines, but it helps you refine your search on our website. I shared with you how to become a participating member, which we hope you will join. To become a member, you have to be a participating school. Let me clarify one very important thing. When I talk about a participating school, any teacher or administrator in that participating school is considered to be a participating person. And so all they have to do to make it easier for them to get direct access is just fill out that form that I showed you, that online form, so their name will be in the system, and then they can look at all these resources at no charge, except for the membership. If you're a participating entity and you're on the Rural STEM general page, you'll see this DHEDF membership. Learn more, which you'll be able to see even though you're not a member. Here is more information, general information about the membership. Here's a direct link to where you can email me, and I'll be happy to set up a Zoom call with you. But hopefully this virtual tour will answer a lot of your questions. Membership year runs from September 1 through the end of August of the following year. The cost is $100 per school. So if a school becomes a member, again, all teachers and all administrators at that school will have access to the membership pages. The reason that we have group memberships of 250 and 500 is because one of the first days we launched the membership pages, one of the schools said, well, do you have a group rate for more of the schools in our district? I said, we don't, but we can fix that. We came up with a group rate of 5 schools, including the initial school of $250, and 10 schools, including the initial school of $500. How did we arrive at those numbers? Our mantra is to make as much information available to the schools as possible, virtually and at no charge. But we started running into a problem as we were growing. If we were making everything available for no charge, how were we going to pay the bills? A common problem for schools, individuals, for families, one that everyone can understand. But we wanted to make things available as low a price as possible. But what we were running into was that we were applying for grants, and the grants wanted data. And it was hard for us to put together anything other than anecdotal information on the basis of how we were not keeping track of it by putting a lot out on the public pages, even on the participating school pages. Allows us to develop more data, but not as much data as the possible grantors, people donating money, giving us a grant, might want. We came up with a minimal fee of $100 for the year. And the $250 for 5 schools is calculated on the basis of $100 for the first school and $50 each for the next 4 schools. On 10 schools, $100 for the first school, $50 each for 9 schools. We're not twisting your arm to join. We don't take anything away from all the other resources that are free if you don't join, but we're sharing information with you. We personally believe, and we hope that you will believe, that once I show you the membership pages, you might see value in your school paying $100 to join. you are more than welcome to not become a member and enjoy all the other resources. That's what we're here for, to make those resources available to you as much as possible. Now, let's say you want to join. All you have to do, yours won't say subscription renewal. It shows me a subscription renewal because I'm already a member. Anyhow, all you do is fill out this form, pay by credit card or pay by check. We prefer credit card. We do not charge you for the credit card fee. And so you put in that information, you click on process, and you're off to the races. We do not share your information. It's not shared with any third parties. It's only used to facilitate your access to our resources. Once you're a member, you can go to the membership pages. Our goal is that we will have one topic page for each of the topics listed in our search engine. We have a page for members, available sources of grants. If you find them of interest, you can apply to them directly. You can include us or not include us. Then when we find third parties that have lists of information that are relevant to our topics, we post them here. And if you know of a resource that is not shown here for grants, please share it with me. wifagan at DHEDF.org or email me at info@dhedf.org. Each of these pages is set up in the same format. The difference between the pages in the membership section and what you have seen up till now is that the page in the membership section is solely devoted to the topic at the top of the page. In the participating school section, you have a teacher resource folder on an entity. Now, in the membership section, the pages are solely focused on the topic. Everything on this page is aviation. The reason I selected this page, it's an example of a page where we, working with our teacher volunteers and administrators, have come up with a curriculum for aviation. And we have pre-K to 5 curriculum. Our director of education, STEM teacher in a rural school in Texas that has been doing aviation, UAS, and drone teaching since 2017, just retired in May, is the person that came up with the curriculum. Click on Read Now, and what you'll find is the curriculum in Word format. It is 70 pages, but you can pick and choose what you want to use, but it's designed for an entire program over time. So what we did is we gave that Word format curriculum to a rural school in Mojave Valley, Arizona. We're working with them on a lot of our pilot programs. I don't mean pilot as in flying an airplane. I mean developing a program and a resource. And they're one of our partners in testing something out at the middle school and elementary school level. His name is David Huggins, in charge of STEM at their school district. And we gave David the Word format. He converted it to a different format. You see the same table of contents here. Now this is in a format that perhaps more of you are used to seeing. It's the same substance, just a different format. And this is only available on the membership pages. We are beginning to develop, it's in a very raw form, a 6th to 8th grade curriculum. We hope to have that done by this summer. We've posted in raw form what we have thus far. So I mentioned earlier leadership calls. So these are the leadership calls that we've had related to this particular topic, aerospace and rocketry. These are the virtual presentations we've had, other videos. These are other resources. If you think this is something that might be helpful to you in your school, become a participating school by simply filling out the form and submitting it. With that, I again thank you for your time, out of your busy schedule. Thank you for what you do for your students. Thank you for what you do for your school and for your community. And hope to see you again soon.